was going to Maternity of the Blessed Virgin Mary when we moved to on Montclair. In fact, Kim Novak lived just a block away from me, who I never met. But I wanted to continue at the Blessed Virgin Mary, but a girl had moved in the neighborhood, so they didn't have time, they didn't have room for me to stay there. And that 7th grade, I was going to Mass every morning and commuting from Montclair, Diversey in Harlem to Holman and North Avenue, which was quite a distance. So then I transferred into St. William's and graduated from there.
Were you a good student?
If I liked the subject, I was a very good student. I enjoyed English and I enjoyed math.
So A's? You got A's?
Do I remember? I don't remember what I got, but those were the subjects I did enjoy.
What didn't you enjoy?
What didn't I enjoy? I don't know. Latin.
Mihi conclures sunt. Abetne speculum.
History, geography. Now, after my brother went to Kiso Air Force Base, he then went to Japan. And he was stationed there for several years. And we had thought he was going to bring home Naomi, a Japanese girl he was going out with, but instead he came home alone. The reason he had joined the Air Force was it was either that or be drafted, but he got out of school. Well, he was very fortunate. He went 8 years to Anderson, then he went 4 years to Weber High School, and then he went to Warsham College to become an undertaker. And that course was only for a year. So I think he was like only 18 years old when he graduated. And he was too young to become an undertaker because you had to be 21. It wasn't very pleasant eating dinner with him smelling from formaldehyde fluid. Woohoo! But we did. I remember my father would make peanut brittle, and it was absolutely delicious. And he would make the peanut brittle and he would put it, I believe, in the front room, because I know I followed him. I don't know if I wanted to get some or what, but I always remembered that. During the war, we ate with my grandparents a lot, and somehow we always had sirloin steak or round steak, and Grandma would make it with potatoes, and then she would make fish soup, which was white, and I don't care that much for fish, but that was, and that was really bad. I remember when I was going to, I think it was Lowell, and it was my first boy-girl party, and we were playing Spin the Bottle. And this boy, Jerry, he wanted to kiss me, so we went in this other room and he kissed me. So I don't know what grade that was. That was probably 5th grade, 6th grade.
Wow.
Yeah, that was young. That was young. Well, then my mother met Fred, and she met him in the nightclub. And they started going out, and I guess Fred asked her to get married, and she didn't know for sure if she wanted to. And my brother was the one who said, well, you know, Mom, you're not getting any younger, and he's a nice man, and he's good to you. You should really consider it. So they did. They got married, and I was about 16. And Aunt Eleanor and Uncle Okie stood up for them. And then we moved from Montclair to Laramie Avenue, where Fred and his brother owned an 8-flat building. And I remember we stripped the wood off of the cabinets and the doorways and all over to have everything natural, and we did a lot of work in that apartment. And we lived on the second floor front, and his brother lived on the first floor in the back, and we all got along well. At that time was when my brother was in the service, or was going to the service, because there was really only one bedroom. And how we separated the room is we made a bedroom in the dining room, and we just had a long cabinet separating the room. And Fred, Mom, and I, we used to go dancing together all the time. We took lessons at Fred
Astaire?
No. Was it Fred Astaire Studios? And then we would go on picnics, a lot of picnics, and go to different lakes. And my mom always made delicious food. It would be fried chicken or breaded pork tenderloin and potato salad. And we would be singing all the way there and all the way back. And I had Fred teach me a song from 1926, from the Desert Song. And I know Mario Lanza, he sang it, and it was called One Alone. Well, yes, I kept after my mother because I wanted a dog at the time. And my brother said, "No, Mom, don't do that, because you know what's going to happen. You're going to wind up taking care of that dog." And I just kept pleading and pleading, and I finally got a little German Shepherd puppy.
How old were you at the time? High school, grammar school?
Well, let me see. Probably high school age. Yeah. And as it turned out, after 2 years, I said I didn't want the dog. I didn't have time for the dog anymore, because then I started going out more and with my girlfriends, and then I didn't have time for the puppy.
What was the puppy's name?
Sandy.
And who named her?
I did. Yes.
After?
No reason. Just I like the name Sandy. So that's what we called her. But we had been talking about dating, and I really wasn't dating. My girlfriends and I, we used to go out just to have a lot of fun. And we would talk to fellas or things like that, but we would go to Riverview. I went to Riverview so many times, and I did meet a lot of sailors. And I went roller skating at the rink at Riverview, and remember a lot of the rides.
Was the Riverview like a hangout for young kids?
Yeah, it could be, or a lot of family people went there and brought their families, but yeah, we hung out there a lot.
Was that a place you went to just on the weekends, or was it during the
It was open all the time, during the summer.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't open in the winter. And then...
So you remember the roller rink? What else do you remember about Riverview?
Shoot the chutes, and the bobs, and the Greyhound, I think it was, and the usual rides that they would have at carnivals and things.
Do you remember about taking pictures at Riverview?
I can't remember exactly where it was, but I took a picture there. I was like sitting on a moon, half moon. I was posing, and then we were sitting on a bar. And that had to be there a long time, because my mother had taken one with a boyfriend, and it was on a car like that said "just married." So that
Was it what?
photography place had to be there a long time. Another time I thought I wanted to be an actress. But I think my greatest ambition was to be a dancer. And I did take tap lessons. I was older though, and I should have probably been started on that when I was much younger. When I was a kid, I don't remember who I was doing this with, but it was during the war, and I was trying to sell bonds or the stamps. And I did get a medal for selling. Well, I put in like 500 hours selling the stamps and the bonds to people, going door to door and doing that.
Is that something you made money at?
No. No, it was just something you were doing for the war. For the government. I remember I had one boyfriend I had met. Pat and I would be going out a lot. She was a couple years older than I, and she did attract the boys. So boys were always hanging around us. But I did meet this one fellow, and he had a motorcycle, and he owned a mechanic shop on Milwaukee Avenue in Chicago. I don't know where he lived. And he and I would go motorcycle riding and do the hills, loop hills. And the bike did fall on me once, but I didn't get hurt very badly. And that was one boy I was serious about. We went together for quite a while, and he had an airplane and he wanted me to fly with him to Lake Long. I was afraid to fly at that time, so I said no. But those things didn't impress me. No, I did a lot of dating. I just never found anyone that I wanted to be with.
Did you date several boys at the same time, or were you a one-woman man?
No, I dated many boys, and I would give them all different names. Just depending who I wanted to be that particular day. Oh, I would be Sally or June or Joan. You know.
Never Edwina?
Never Edwina. I didn't like my name.
What happened when they would call the house looking for you?
Well, it depends on the name, I guess. If it was Sally, I wasn't there. Let me see, Hans came into the picture when Mother was married, and I had been working as a waitress. I don't know why I went to the Black Forest to apply for a job, and he hired me, and I worked the bar room. And we had a piano player who was on the stage. On Saturdays, they had sopranos singing. And my dance partners from Fred Astaire's dance studio would come in. So then I'd be dancing up and down the bar. And I had a lot of fun there. And then Hans and I started going out. Yes, and I was serious about him. I really did like him. And then he sold the restaurant, and he didn't want me to work there, which I should have stayed there. So he went to Germany for a vacation, and then I wasn't working, and I would tell him to come home. He didn't come home. Then I got another job. He still didn't come home. So he sent me to buy a Grundig Majestic stereo hi-fi, and that still didn't replace him, so